The noise did not come from the road. It came from one man's anger. In a quiet UK village where people spoke softly and knew each other by name, lived two men who could not be more different. One was Ethan, educated, calm, reserved. He worked at the small village school, taught part-time, and spent evenings reading near his window. The other was Leo, uneducated, hard-working, restless. He worked with his hands, carried loads, fixed fences, and carried inside him a fire he never learned how to control. They lived on the same street, and somehow they argued often. Sometimes about water, sometimes about land, sometimes about nothing important at all. Every argument followed the same pattern. Leo shouted. His voice rose quickly. Words came fast. Hands moved wildly. Ethan listened. When Leo insulted him, Ethan stayed silent. When Leo accused him, Ethan nodded. When Leo pushed words harder, Ethan extended his hand. "Let's settle this calmly," he said each time. This confused Leo. One evening, after another loud argument that ended with Ethan walking away peacefully, Leo followed him. "Why don't you ever shout back?" Leo demanded. Ethan stopped walking, looked at him, and smiled gently. "Because shouting is what the mind does when it cannot see clearly," he replied. Leo laughed bitterly. "You think you're better than me?" Ethan shook his head. "No," he said. "I think I am more aware of my own mind." That sentence stayed with Leo. Days passed. Another argument came. Again, Leo shouted. Again, Ethan listened. Again, Ethan offered peace. Finally, one night, Leo came to Ethan's door, not angry, tired. "Teach me," he said simply. "Teach you what?" Ethan asked. "How to be calm," Leo replied. "My head is never quiet." Ethan invited him in. They sat. No lecture, no philosophy. Ethan poured tea. "Tell me," he said, "what happens in your mind when you shout?" Leo thought. "I feel small," he said slowly, "and afraid that I don't matter." Ethan nodded. "Noise is not strength," he said. "It is fear asking for attention." Leo frowned. "So silence is weakness?" Ethan smiled. "No, silence is understanding." From that day, Leo tried. Not perfectly, but sincerely. The next argument came. He felt anger rise. His mouth opened. Then he paused. He remembered something Ethan had said. When the mind is empty of understanding, it fills itself with noise. Leo closed his mouth and walked away. Slowly, the village noticed a change. Leo spoke less, listened more, worked the same, but carried himself differently. One evening, sitting beside Ethan, Leo said, "I used to think calm people were weak." Ethan replied, "Calm people have already won the hardest battle." "What battle?" Leo asked. Ethan touched his chest, the one inside. The lesson spread quietly in the village, not through sermons, not through rules, through one simple truth. A noisy mouth often hides a restless mind, and a calm silence often hides deep strength. If you are angry today, if you feel the urge to shout, to prove, to attack, pause. Ask yourself, is this strength speaking, or is this fear asking to be heard? Because the mind that understands itself does not need to be loud, and sometimes the quietest person in the room is the wisest. If this story made you reflect, let it stay with you. You're welcome to like, comment, or share it with someone who needs calm today. And if you enjoy gentle stories with spiritual depth, consider subscribing to Eliza Bethell's Tales.